Okay, today we're going to talk about something that's very passionate lah. I'm always passionate about friendship. I don't know about Ju because she always seems to like double think or triple think or deeper think when we talk about friendship. But yeah, today we're going to talk about friends. You're listening to
Jom Sembang, Malaysia.
So right, there's this new term called ketchup friends. Ketchup as in ketchup. Some people put ketchup. Some people
Tomato ketchup.
Yeah,
ketchup.
friends. That's going on in the TikTok trend because some influencers have brought up this fact that there's a new genre of friends called the ketchup friends.
Genre, okay.
So, okay, this is I think the idea of a ketchup friend is basically come from this how we say people get so busy with life that they don't do life together. But they meet once a while to catch up.
Okay.
And we realized that after the pandemic, as the world spins faster and we're all catching up, we have more catch-up friend than actual real friend that journey with us every day.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this?
What are my thoughts on this?
Because I see you have quite a lot of catch-up friend on your social media lah. Or she's laughing like she don't know what I'm talking about. But okay, let me just illustrate more. She tried to capture her mind. You understand she need to process a little bit. So, for example, like there are friends that we used to meet once a month to chit chat and all that. And then even if no, not you, me.
Okay.
I won't talk about you. Your life is your life. My life is my life.
Sounds like a Whitney Houston song.
I have some good friends that I used to meet up once a month to we just have coffee and chit chat. But when we don't meet up, we still randomly text each other certain stuff like, hey, this cat reminds me of something. So there is a constant random communication that goes on text.
Okay.
And then we meet once a month to catch up. But those is what I would consider as good friends.
Okay.
Because they kind of know what's going on in my life. Maybe not the daily details, but good enough. And then stuff like that. But after the pandemic, I find that it's very hard to continue this culture, either because we talk less during the pandemic because we didn't meet up. And then you know how some things, right, you go like, I just tell you in person lah, text very long lah, right? So you stop that, then there's a gap. So and then after that, everyone started catching up with life that we don't meet once a month, we meet once every 6 months.
Okay.
So for me, they have become my catch-up friend because not only do they not know regularly what's happening in my life on a weekly basis, when we meet up, it's really just sit down. Oh, this is what happened to me last month. Oh, that's what happened to you last 2 months. Oh, actually, this happened to me. Then after that,
everything
finish.
is after the fact already.
Yeah, it's like it's a reflection kind of thing, which I won't say is bad. Sometimes we are going through life so fast that it takes a catch-up session for us to sit down and reflect on what happened with our life with our catch-up friends. But these are friends that you won't say that you're not close lah. It's like every 6 months we just make a deal to sit down and catch up.
I'm laughing because it feels like it's the reporting and evaluation time.
In a way, I think friendship needs that, or we people need that.
Okay.
Because I find that a lot of my friends, right, when we don't have that session where we actually catch up, when we say catch up, it's really talking about what happened in our life. Maybe 3 big events that happened in our life or something like that. Then you live through your life without really having that pause to reflect, especially if you're not an introvert or you're not a reflecting person. You need your friend to help you to sit down and reflect on what happened in life, to actually really soak in life instead of zooming past it, if that makes any sense lah.
Okay.
So I do think catch-up friends is a new concept for a lot of people, but it's something that I don't mind having in my life.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Me? I think for me to talk about catch-up friends is a little bit, I have to think very hard. Like, okay, which one is my ketchup friend lah? Okay,
maybe
they're all my ketchup friends. Yeah. So I categorize my friends as background a little bit lah.
Yep.
Saya dulu, why am I speaking Malay this time? Just came back from traveling.
Maybe all your friends were Malay.
Okay, so when I was small, my dad would get transferred. Let's say every 10. Okay, so when I was 10. I moved to KL from Malacca, right? So that gave me 3 schooling years in Malacca. I'm saying this because I know a lot of people who have childhood friends from like primary 1 until now 60 years old, 70 years old. They've been friends for the entire duration. For me, I don't have that kind of thing because we would shift. And I'm not the type that will keep in touch with people very much lah.
So that's a very interesting timeline, which I will talk about after you finish the story.
Cool. So if I recall, I have some friends that between the age of 1 and 10, we play Monopoly together, we go caroling together. But my school friends, I think from that 3 years, I only remember 2 names. Beyond that, nothing much. Okay? Okay, so there's no primary school. Then after that, I come to KL, upper primary and lower secondary. Okay, then it's got a bigger bond. But the closest friends that I have are both overseas right now. So that's, if you talk about catch up, it's like catch up once in 15 years when both of them happen to come back.
Catch up already.
Seriously, like the last time we met, both of them had kids, talking about life as parents. So really, that's another thing. And then again, I moved. So I realized that the friends that are perhaps closest to me were from the age of Form 3 is what? 15.
Yeah.
15 onwards. And even then, right, it's like just the 1 or 2. So I've always had, I don't know, I think it's normal that at any point of time, you would probably have 2 really close friends. I don't know. And
I can't imagine investing in more than 2 closely.
Yeah. So in that time, like upper secondary school, I had 2 and I maintain friendship with 1 now. And that is also because she's also my physiotherapist. So there was that catch up season. There was a time that we kind of like didn't have contact at all.
Okay.
But when we met up again, it's almost like instantaneously just continued that friendship, kinda. But of course, also, I don't like talk about life every day. Like
but the contribution is also part of social media lah. You kind of indirectly catch up with each other
actually,
until you actually catch up lah. No.
At least not. I don't know. Maybe she see got what I do and thing lah, but because I don't scroll very much, so I don't
but when
really
she
know.
talks to you, you kind of know what.
Yeah.
I mean, because actually,
funnily, right? I love my
her physiotherapist. Happens her friend physiotherapist. I happen to go. So sometimes I know that she checks my social media because she bring up things that I've never brought up before to her. Then I'm like, hey, she's following me on social media.
Yeah. So my friends tend to know what I am doing more. Although I think I don't post very much on socials, but because I don't really scroll, I don't really know what's actually going on in my friends' lives, which is one-sided lah. Sorry, So for me, it's really when I sit down, that's when I catch up.
But it's good lah. Because there are times where everyone just reading each other's social media. When you sit down, you got nothing to catch up. Because I want to talk about my dog death, but then you already know what.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to talk about.
So in terms of doing life, I think for me, right, previously lah, maybe earlier, now might be a bit different. But I would feel like I'm actually doing life with somebody when, for example, we're traveling together, or because you're sitting in the airplane, right? That's the best place to talk. It's like no distraction, So 1 hour, 2 hours, you can just talk in the airport and everything. So that's one. The other one I find is like when somebody just says, "Hey, come lah, meet up for a meal," and that is when I find that we can talk about life. It doesn't have to be a good friend for me. It's like it could be somebody that I think wavelength is very important to me.
Correct.
It's like we speak on the same wavelength, and I can. Of course, there are some people that you just feel comfortable talking about what's going on in your life or your discoveries, and sometimes I find I'm sharing to those people about that are actually not very close to me. I don't know them for a long time, but I can be a little bit honest and vulnerable, and it's a two-way thing. And for me, that actually helps me to, what's the word? Like you said, reflect. Even on myself, it's like evaluate, reflect. And because they don't know me, what? They know me, but they don't really know me. So
they know you, but not on a daily basis. Every thought, they know your general thoughts or
general
feelings.
So, but
things.
by the response and by the exchange of conversation, I find that, oh wow, I come away feeling very enriched after that kind of.
Actually, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy catch-up friendships now.
Okay,
because we have deep conversations. We don't talk about every day what I eat for nasi lemak yesterday. I mean, we do lah, but that is not the main focus. They're probably talking about this one part of their life where they experience a decision making that's important and what's the effect.
Yeah.
Or I'm talking something similar, and we actually have a very deep conversation that reflects who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do, which I think is part of journeying together lah, in life lah, walk together kind of thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it cannot happen on a daily basis.
Okay.
So I find that sometimes we have daily friends, which is generally like every single time lah, every single day, that kind of thing. And there are those that these daily friends that's close to you might not give you the space to do that reflection or deep talk all the time. Because you every day, then you feel like he knows what he or she knows what you think, right? So there is no room for a conclusion for that entire journey, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But when I have this catch-up friend is when I can actually talk about certain parts that I thought was
you have to tell the whole story, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, the catch-up is not like a 15 years like yours lah. It's like, hello, must catch up for my first baby.
No lah, that one different.
Yeah, so it's the catch-up like a few months one, allow us to have personal growth and professional growth and discuss about it and have a reflection. That is what I appreciate more as an introvert lah.
Right.
Deep conversations.
Yeah, me too.
And that works out. So I don't mind if it's just a 1 year meet 3 times because that fruitful or that satisfaction or the gain is higher than my other friendship lah. Yeah. So maybe after a break we come back and talk about how challenging can it be to maintain a friendship.
Ooh. Today's episode is in support of the YWCA KL's brand new initiative called the YWCA Community Oasis. If you would like to be involved in greening up a space right in the middle of downtown KL, reach out to us on social media, YWCA KL.
Just said, I would like to green the place too.
Yes.
So how, Ju? Very hard ka maintain friendship?
Okay, let me tell you this story once. So I have a friend. So like I said, last time we traveled together because we were quite closely together. We even went to the gym together. I wouldn't call her my bestie, but we were close lah because we were both freelancing, so same kind of free time and we meet up for work and stuff. And then she moved to Singapore, had kids, and when I went to Singapore, we were like, hey, come, we need to meet up for coffee, right?
Yeah.
And it was really, really funny. I wouldn't say it's awkward, but I think for me, it was a realization of people having different seasons in life because she came with her kids, 2 daughters who, I think she came with one. I think one at a time. She didn't bring both, right? Just one. I remember one was in the, what do you call it? The pram stage. So it's still pramming. And I remember that particular one where we were sitting down, it was really quite impossible to have any kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Right. And I think for me, it wasn't awkward. It was different. And of course, I understand the situation. But I had to come to terms with we are not in a season where we can actually talk.
On the same things or the interests or the priorities.
No, just talk.
Yeah.
Because every other few minutes, if you're going to talk about something, there will be a distraction. Right?
But if you remove the distraction,
then can.
Then it's not so bad lah.
No, but you see, people in life will have all these things that will need to pull their attention away. And therefore, during that season, I knew that my role as a friend in that, like you say what's challenging, right, is, we still meet up. Of course, I'm not going to say we don't meet up because we cannot talk, what? Duh. But I just meet up and be in that space with you in this phase of your life and help you to push the pram and we go bookshop.
You're more gracious than me.
No, yeah, seriously. So I actually felt that, wow, I get to experience a little piece of her life that I would otherwise have not experienced.
Understand.
I mean, I don't have kids of my own, so I don't, not that I want that.
Okay, there's this part of friendship that is a little bit more of like what my theory is.
Okay,
so normally when you grow up, you have childhood friends that you think that you're going to be friends forever. And then you realize
not me. Okay,
And then you go to realize that because you're always traveling.
Yeah.
So then you realize that, okay, then you go to university might be your formative year, right? You might or might not forget your high school mates. Those are 12 years of education kind of thing. And you think that, hey, I will cling on to my best friend. But when you go to uni and college, you build new friendship because now you're open to a big circle of friends compared to last time school is just school. Because your parents pick you up and down and everything, you're really limited your social life, right? Unless you have activities like swimming club or whatever is it. Then you go to university and college is when you have freedom because people come from all walks of life. So your circle of potential friendships are bigger. You meet new people. And these are the people that actually see your so-called adult formative years. Because that's where you decide whether you like what you do, what you study, and then you are trying to cling on to your good friends from primary school, right? Who are going through the same thing, who probably find their own social network in their own uni. And you'll find a lot of people find that they think they can grow up with their uni and college friends forever. Because you talk about ambitions, you talk about lifestyle, you talk about things that actually make sense now that you're a young adult compared to when you're talking at a 12-year-old, you don't know what you're talking lah.
Okay.
And then there are some people that after they leave uni, right, they cannot sustain this friendship that they think will last them forever because now you go to a workplace, then you have different work stress and all that. I find that I have one of few friends, they try to maintain this uni friendship and they do it very, very well because they will go to workplace and deal with their colleagues, their friends every day, but they have these uni people to come back as ketchup and it really works for them.
Okay.
Because they don't have to explain where they're coming from. They have eat, sleep and die for assignments together for 3-4 years. You understand who you are, whether you're lazy or hardworking or whatever. They
not saying
understand you.
lazy, what different way of work lah.
They can see your behavior, your approach, your mindset.
Yeah.
So when you come back to catch up to explain about your new friends or struggle in
Or
work,
your
these
colleague or
people will
whatever.
understand better than your new work friends where they don't understand where you're coming from.
Interesting.
Right? And then as you work longer, maintaining this group of friends from uni is the challenge that a lot of people find. But I know a few people who have done it very well.
Okay.
For 10, 20 years, they will fall back to their uni friends who were there when they formed their mindset, their behavior, their decision to be the identity of who they want to be. And these are the ones that they bring along through their life. Whether they're starting a family or whatever, these are the ones. And these are the ones that I kind of, and so I always ask them, how do you even maintain the friendship when I don't even have energy to manage the work or the new friendship that I get from work or whatever is it lah.
Okay.
So the answer my friend said is because I never have to explain myself with this group of friends.
Right.
So I thought, quite interesting. The maintenance of a friendship is basically what I understood from this situation is that when you have a group of people at a certain point of your life where it is also your crucial part, where you make a decision to switch a career, where you it forms your identity, that stage, right? These are the friends that
you're going to get married to.
Yeah. That you will fall back to easily.
Yeah.
Whether as a catch-up friend or later on, like you say, your friend who suddenly got baby, you come up, but you can still meet is because you were there for each other during that formative year. Would you see as something like that?
I don't have friends like that.
Move around too much, no formative year.
No, I mean, even if you're talking about in the uni years, the closest one I would think of is this physio friend lah.
Okay.
Because we were very close, we would talk about future, there were 3 of us and we even talked about who would get married first. Were we right? No, we were wrong.
Suddenly,
the one we said would get married last got married first. Yeah, so ouch. So in terms of uni, because I did part-time studies, right? So I was working and then I was studying. So there was no, I had a study partner, but I didn't have like a full-time uni friend per se lah.
But I understand that seasonal friend that you were talking about. I won't call it, I don't know what you want to call it lah. For me, it would be considered seasonal lah because I know this girl who's very close.
Yeah.
During my one of my working job posting. So we are same age, then we can drive each other, we can solve each other problem. But the moment she got married and have a kid, it was very hard really because all we sit down and talk about is she talk about diapers and I'm like, or talk about pram, and as much as I try to be interested, I can't be interested every single time we meet. Right. So she also start to feel a bit different, like it's not the support that she gets. And it eventually we met and there was no takeaway. I always feel unfulfilled. Like you just went out on sharing the space but not really being together.
Okay,
kind of thing.
Okay, fair enough.
And eventually I found that she fall back to all her primary school friends because they were all giving birth at the same time.
Yeah.
So which to me I told her is totally fine. Don't try very hard to maintain this friendship at the same intensity.
Sure, exactly.
Because you are now at a different season in life.
Correct.
And I'm happy that you have other support friends instead of me trying to force myself to be that support that you need when I can't.
Exactly, yeah.
And then maybe in between, if you need a reflection or something like that, we just meet up. So eventually our weekly friendship, if that frequency became lesser and lesser, because I personally find that I wasn't walking away fulfilled lah.
Okay.
You know, and I don't want it to reach a point where it breaks the friendship.
Right.
So for example, the same friend was also in this group of 5 friends or 4 friends. And all of them are single, they don't have children. So she's really finding it hard to gel in. Is because we sometimes said, hey, can you don't bring your son?
Wow.
Because right, when she have a son, then
like
she's there, but
correct.
she's entertaining the son. And the 3 of us having conversation, and we felt like she's left out. But then it's not like she can gel in or that. So we will say, maybe we make an arrangement where you can actually meet us, maybe when you're not taking care of a son. Maybe you're taking a time off.
Easy to do.
Correct, I know.
Right. So there are, you have family commitments that
Correct.
you cannot just be put aside just for.
Correct. So we actually I think it was because initially we will embrace it. But because the son is also quite hard to deal with and stuff like that. And we find that it really wasn't working with that meeting, the friendship gathering, right? It felt like the friendship gathering was falling apart.
I see.
So that was when they said maybe the others were trying to salvage it by suggesting like, hey, maybe if we need to choose a place that's friendly for your son, like for example, there's a shopping mall with a extreme park, then drop him there and play, then we just sit and watch him, then we can actually talk.
Yeah. Like it's like those playground moms, right? Where the kids
Correct.
are playing and then you just sit there and talk and watch
So
them.
we have to find solutions like that to kind of maintain that friendship.
Yeah.
You know, but recently I felt that she was feeling like, hey, can I bring my son? Seems to be a question that she had to ask.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone was feeling the pressure that when the son is here, we have her but we don't have her. And then we don't know what to do with the situation. Should we include you but you're talking to your son? Or should we include your son but your son is quite rude, don't talk to us then? So everyone was uncomfortable. So I find that sometimes we can't force it.
Right.
But it's also good to be honest to talk about it. At least we can talk to her about it. Like after a few times, we just sat her down and said, hey, it's actually, we don't mind your son, but then it really doesn't feel like you were hanging out with us because you weren't joining the conversation.
But how does she feel though? How does she respond to that? Because it's not her choice.
Yeah, initially the first few times after that we met, she would try to come out on a day that she give me this impression there's the husband and the wife, right? Her husband sometimes take days off and say, okay, now you take care of the kids. Then he'll spend one day with the friends.
Yeah.
So she also will have, she will also have the arrangement where, okay, husband, you take care of them. I have one day off with my friends.
Yes.
And that's how it has been working for us lah. But you see, if we didn't bring it up, she would not spend that one day off with her friends with us. She'd probably spend it with other mother's friend, which she can bring her child together. So what we did was we said that, okay, when you don't have off day, you need to bring your child with you. Maybe you will meet your other mother
Organize
friend.
your life a little bit more wisely lah.
Correct. But if you have a day off where you can do without children and you want to meet us, then that will be
then you do the child-free day lah.
Correct.
Child-free day.
It sometimes takes a friend that can be honest, to talk and point it out before
maybe
that person
she didn't realize it, right?
Correct.
Or something.
She didn't realize that some things we cannot talk in front of the son or something like that, you know? Like how to say, hey, your son only everyday play the thing, never say hello to us, so rude. But we can't say it in front of your son, ma.
Well, if you're close enough, you tell the son lah. Hello, never say hello to auntie ah. Hello? Say hello faster.
But nowadays, children, young, can be a different issue altogether. But I just want to explain that through this experiment, or rather this real case study that I had, I realized that sometimes your friends don't know what you need. And you don't know what they need. And it needs to be communicated. So this group of friends used to, like I say, try to meet up every month because that's what we used to do. And we struggle so hard just to meet up every month. And then when we finally meet up, we are tired because we are arranging it. We're trying to force
just
the
trying
schedule.
To find the date. I know what that feels like.
So then it doesn't make sense anymore. So friendship actually evolve and grow according to seasons. And you need to talk about it. That it's okay not to be regular because in this season of life, we cannot be the regular friend. Okay? Or it needs to be regular now because in this season of life, you need it. And I think that comes across when we communicate. And that's how you actually maintain a friendship a little bit better than letting it just go wherever you go lah, you know?
Interesting. I think for me, right, I've never thought about friendship as a intentional thing. I think maybe it's also my personality. I don't know. It's like, at different times you're going to have different people in your life. And I don't put too much expectation on a certain type of friendship. So when you ask me what kind of friend am I, I'm like, probably not a very good one. you know. But I find, I can jive, like I said, like, like the friend that brought her daughter, right? It's like, I get to appreciate that season in your life, and I'm meeting with you once a year only lah. And then you can also see the seasons when the kid is not there. Then we can talk. And I appreciate that I can follow through the seasons from now the social media. So I can see, oh, wow, she's taken out her keyboard to start playing again, and you see that. And I think being a long-term friend, having had those kind of conversations, and then later we can catch up when the time is right again lah. So in terms of that, I think it's okay. I don't feel the pressure of having to maintain any friendship lah. But
I'm quite bad lah. So if, for example, if I don't catch up with a friend for maybe more than 4 years, when I finally meet them, it's just normal lah. It doesn't go deep. Because I'm too tired to catch you up on what's happening the last 4 years for you to make sense.
See, on the flip side, I do have friends that I meet every week or every other week, right? By default, it's like, okay, we're going to meet every week. But seriously, when we're talking, I don't come away feeling that much, what's the word? Like you said, like, yes, there was a connection. There was that wavelength. There was that fulfillment or whatever it is. It's just, meet up lah every week. It's not that I didn't have a good time. It's not like I regret going. I come away feeling,
Okay.
But it's not, I wouldn't call it a deep friendship, although we are meeting every week.
Yeah, there's different types of friendship lah.
Yeah.
But for me, every friendship requires a certain level of investment. Investment as in interest in the other person. Whether you are interested in them on a monthly basis, weekly basis, or daily basis. I mean, hard to say that it's strange to say that it's so
methodological.
Yeah. I mean, what lah, Gina? What are you talking about? Investment every week.
Yeah, it's like,
month,
that's why
right?
Okay, that's why when you say just now, talk about friendship, I'm like so stressed.
Because friendship is like a relationship. Every relationship have an expectation.
Okay,
so friendship should also have a certain expectation for it to really grow and bond in a very, fruitful way. If you go to meet a bunch of friends every week and there's no expectation, you just meet, then you walk away unfulfilled. But if you have expectation, for example, I come to have a good time, to have people who support me, what I do, and I support them and listen to each other's story, then when you achieve that objective and you walk away, you get that fruitful fulfillment kind of feel.
Yeah.
Okay, which is what I'm trying to, as bad as it may sound, having categories of my friends helps me to maintain some expectation of them when I meet.
I see.
So instead of like when I meet, then I come out like feeling, what was that about?
Then
I will know it's either the expectation was not met or there was no expectation. It's like going for a meeting lah. You don't tell me what it's about. Then I go in and then come out. It might be good, it might be bad. But if we go for a meeting knowing that, hey, we're going to talk about swimming pool. Then you go in and you really talk about swimming pool, then you come out, feeling good. But you go in and talk about something else, and then your expectation, if there's something else ngam, we feel good lah. If that something else is not ngam and you didn't talk about that swimming pool they talk about, then you walk out going like, what was that? I think friendship is a lot to do with bonding, and bonding a lot to do with spending time together. So the expectation of what we do when we spend time together, or what we hope to achieve, is very important lah.
Yeah, and I think also, I don't know, is this a tip, not a tip? I don't know. It just might be my preference. There was a week, was it last week? It was just a couple of weeks ago, where I got a call and it was like, hey, tonight, want to have dinner? Right? I'm like, normally,
I told you she don't spend money.
No, it's not that. No, she said, I'm going to treat.
Even worse, she don't spend money? Okay, go back to the topic.
I wasn't even going to, it was a free dinner. And usually I'm not so I used to be spontaneous, now not. So maybe it's family commitments and stuff. So I was like, then she said, because my husband is not around today, so I'm so let's just go and eat. So I'm like, let me think about it and get back to you after lunch. So bad, right? So finally we did. We went for dinner at a quiet place, a restaurant. Again, like I said, not close, but I felt like there was that I left feeling fulfilled. I don't think I went in with any expectation except dinner. I actually thought she wanted to pick my brain about work.
She might have or might not. That's why you're fulfilled.
No, she didn't. She didn't talk about that at all. We were just talking about life, talking about, oh, this happened recently and this is my like new experiences and like, wow. Yeah, and I went home feeling refreshed. And we also went to a new place that I'd never been to last. So like, yeah, Abi kata bawah tumpurong. So that was Exhibit A. Exhibit B was also a person that I'm not really close to. And she gave me the same thing. My husband is not around today, so
now she got us out. If you want to ask Zurita, I'll just remember to tell her that your husband or your boyfriend not available, okay?
And she was like, okay, that was like super random because she said, let's go because let's go with her girlfriends. Her girlfriends. I said, her girlfriend's so boring. Boyfriends now to meet. Then she said, hello, my husband is not around. I cannot like go with boyfriends. Like, oh yeah, how you married? I forgot. It's like, okay, I'll go with your girlfriends. It was cool, but I think personally, if you're listening to this, don't marah, okay? Personally, the place was just too noisy. And me being introvert, it was more of me taking in the experience, taking in that place. Oh, got this type of place. Oh, like this is how seniors, people older than me enjoy themselves because there were a lot of seniors in there. Food was good and very affordable. So yeah, I would go back there for food, but it was just way too noisy for me to come out feeling, fulfilled lah. I mean, not that it wasn't fulfilling, but I didn't have that like whoa moment, but it did help to build that relationship.
Would you say that, or would you consider yourself a catch-up friend then? I mean, from what you have been telling me, a lot of your friendships are more like a catch-up meeting.
I wouldn't call it catch-up. It's not like, depends lah. You mean catch-up with what? How?
Catch-up with your life lah. And their life lah.
For me, I wouldn't call it catch-up. We would call it a catch-up coffee. Yes, let's meet up to catch up. But I think it's more of talking about heart matters. Like what's important to me? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on in your life now is catch up, but it's more than...
No lah, this catch up, it makes it casual lah. Takkan we call it heart meal hearty meal
Yeah, it's a hard thing lah.
So this catch up, it sounds casual, but it's not like I explained just now. It's basically sitting down and reflecting, talking about life and reflecting about each other's identity.
In that
That's
sense,
why I say it sounded like a catch up friends or a catch up session.
Yeah, but even then catch up has 2 levels lah. So like
yeah,
so
not just
like,
the hello,
like
I have been promoted kind of thing, but it's the hello, I've been promoted. But before I get the promotion, do you know how much I wanted it? And that's why I got it. That is what I meant by reflective catch up.
Yeah, the reflective. Those are the conversations that I treasure most, and they don't have to be with closest, deepest friends. I think
closest,
just people
deepest friends won't be catch up. Closest, deepest friend, you'll be talking to them every other day lah.
That's true lah, I suppose.
So that's why I'm trying to say that this new catch up term is something that is very, very, for me, relevant in the current generation or the current time zone that we are at.
Okay.
Because it applies to even the younger one all the way to the older ones.
Right.
That, hey, before the pandemic, we might be good friends that talk every single day or every other week. But now, after the pandemic, things are spinning out of hands. We have too many things to manage. Finding that time to catch up is what makes friendship work instead of none. You actually lose, a lot of people actually lose friends after the pandemic because they're so busy with their family and their career that they don't have time to even think about their friend.
Okay.
But the fact that their friends does not say that, hey, why you like this one? We're no longer friends. The friends all resulted in let's just catch up once a while because life is crazy. That itself is a way forward for now. I would say maybe the next 3 years as the world catch up.
And it starts with somebody wanting to do that catch up in the first place, of being intentional.
So are you the proactive friend or the non-proactive friend?
I'm the not proactive friend. I would be the one who, we should meet up for coffee. And I think for me, it's like how I respond is, like you said, do I know what it's about? And there are some people that I don't feel like I need to know what it's about. I am willing to, sure. And I might schedule it later or earlier or whatever, but I don't really need to have an agenda. And then there are people that it's like, why I want to meet up? I don't anticipate. I don't anticipate that kind of conversation. Catch up or whatever. Then it would take a lot more to say yes to those lah.
So last time I'm a little bit more of a balance between an initiator and a non-initiator. But I find that during the pandemic, when friends got too busy, and when you also stop initiating, they actually stop initiate on their part. Then I realized those are the friends that I kind of don't need in my life. That means all this while, it was just one-sided initiator lah.
Yeah.
right? So I would just say that I'm the best one. I might have been initiating some, and then after that, it's like just disappear or something like that. But there are people who like also initiate that I also feel like I'm not interested, and therefore I let it fade away. But I'm saying that if you have friends who initiate, to keep that friendship with you, and if the friendship that you want to keep, then you should also play a balanced part in initiating.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that friend will one day give up. Like, every time I ask her out for coffee, she never asked me. Maybe she actually don't want to hang out with me. Then this will stop contacting you. But if that was not your intention, that might misinterpret, right? That friendship will go away.
Yeah, this is making me miss my godma because she would every other week, I think, just say, "Come, let's have a meal," and it was just that. It was, "Hey, let's just have a meal." And looking back, right, it's like, wow, I really appreciate that because it's so not me to come lah, let's have a meal, you know. But yeah, so I'm trying. She's not with us anymore, but I'm trying to appreciate the people who have been there in my life. You know, like, okay, am I tearing up? Wow, and just when I can make time and say, okay, I'm popping by. And
I think
don't
it's
take
important,
those relationships for granted.
Correct.
Yeah.
To take the initiative sometimes and not leave it to our friend to be the initiator.
Yes.
Is one of the crucial way of maintaining a friendship. Because friendship takes two to clap.
Okay, so go call a friend now.
Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Cerita Suito and Gina Yap Layung.
Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105.
Remember to click like and subscribe for the brand new episode next week.